computer. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the tutorial 2 from ECON1310. I'm Francisco. If you haven't watched the previous tutorial, let me go quickly through a few things we talked about. My name is Francisco. I'm studying a Bachelor of Economics. Just finished my second year, going for my third and final year of undergrad, and I'm originally from Brazil. So it's a small city in São Paulo State, Ourinhos. Let's go. Most important, well, let's start with the admin stuff. And very, very important now. You probably saw the announcement yesterday. CML, the first CML is available. It's open, and you guys can start working on it right now. And you must submit until the 12th of December. You can see for the CML, you can start work a little bit, then stop, close it, just save but not submit, and then you open it again, work a little bit more. The only important thing is you have to submit before you will see closes at 4 p.m. on Monday, the 12th of December, in 4 days. And don't think that if you just saving, it will submit automatically. That's important thing to remember. What else? This CML will contribute to 8% of your grade. And after you do this one, if you're not happy with your grade, you have a chance to do a second attempt. It won't be the same questions, probably. There's a chance that maybe one question is repeated because it's all random, but probably it will be different questions. But we will consider your highest score. So we strongly recommend you to do both attempts and see the best. Unless if you get 100% of the first one, then you're fine. You're probably not improving from that. But that's how it works, right? What else I wanted to talk about? Just passing by quickly. Once again, if you need any help, you can talk to Dominic. If it's an academic or administrative question, if it's a CML, you can send an email here. And remember, we always have consultations every day in the week. We'll have consultations. We had before the one from Ben. Tomorrow still have Dominic from midday to 1 Brisbane time. So if you need any help, feel free to, don't miss the chance of asking. As we are in statistics class, I put some stats from tutorial 1 that I thought it would be interesting to have a look at. Let me hope it's not covering. You can see the whole screen. So we had 30 students attending, of which 26 are enrolled into this tutorial, and 4 were not. Welcome for the ones who are not. Maybe today we might have a few others. For the ones who are not enrolled into the 4 p.m. tutorials, if you haven't yet, please email Dominic letting him know you want to study this one 4 p.m. And the same goes the other way around. Like if you attend a different tutorial and if you, oh, look, I like the other tutorial better, or the time works better for me, feel free to talk to Dominic and swap to the other one at a different time. It's really, if you're doing it, do it now in the beginning of the semester. If you're moving from this one to the other ones, I think there's still spots available, so you might be able to do it yourself on your timetable. But to move to this one, I think we are full at the moment, so you might get into a waiting list. So important things there, and things for you guys to be aware that we can see. For example, the time spent per student. So these are some descriptive statistics. The time spent per student, the maximum time, someone was here for 110 minutes, and it wasn't me. Someone was here for longer than I was. Another person was here. The person who stayed the minimum time during the tutorial was just for 11 minutes. It's someone who tried to connect a few times. So maybe the person was having some difficulty accessing this tutorial. Always, if that's the case, you can explain yourself. Let us know if you're having difficulties. But look, we put as you're present, but we take notes that like you're here for just a few last minutes. So yeah, it's something to pay attention. Like we can see how long people are staying in the tutorials in person. And if you're someone watching it from home later, yeah, just be aware that we're paying attention on how much time people spend live during the tutorials. If you're watching it later, there is a greater chance that you might be invited for the IVA, for the in-person interview, just to check if you're following what we're teaching. And then some interesting statistics. Our mean time, so our measure of center was 80 minutes, which is pretty good. The tutorial goes for 90. A lot of things were admin and presentation on Tuesday. And the standard deviation was 24.5 minutes. If you watched all the videos from the lectures, you've seen a little bit about standard deviation and how it works. We touched it on Tuesday, didn't talk much about. And once again, we won't like talk too much now, but throughout the semester, we'll be doing a lot with it. And also, this is important for you to know. It's possible for us, as I might have mentioned on Tuesday, it's possible for us to see who's participating on the polls and who's not. And so there were 11 students. Congratulations to them who answered all the 4 polls that were put out. 6 students answered just 3, 7 just 2, 4 just 1, and 2 students didn't answer any of the polls. So like if you're in the class, it would be nice if you like interacting. It definitely doesn't count for your grade. These polls are super random. Not all tutorials will have them, but I think it's a nice way of interacting. So yeah, feel free to join. Look, so that you know for sure, and to be open about it, we can see which are your answers, but don't worry, there's no problem being right or wrong. Really don't worry. It's better for you to participate. You're showing us that you were watching and you're putting out your answer, giving out your attempt, and instead of not participating. And we might feel like, oh, are you watching it despite being connected? So yeah, that's our advice. And that's it about admin for today. Let me see. Yes. At the moment, any question? Do you guys have any questions? Do you want to jump in, open your mic or your video, or send a chat asking something before we start tutorial 2? Yeah, anybody? I think I can see Peter has his mic open. Would you like to say anything?
No, sorry.
No, that's all right. Amazing. All right, I think I'll start going then with the tutorial. Or maybe can I get you guys with the polls? What do you think? I'm not planning to do these statistics all the time. I just wanted to give you a little bit of an idea about it. You guys think it's cool? Want to send a thumbs up or not? Or what do you think? Cool. I'll try to open everybody there. Oh, that's cool. A few people liked. I hope not a lot of people were like very threatened or like, oh my God, I don't want it to be seen or whatever. Definitely don't worry about if you're right or wrong in the polls. It's nice to know you guys are participating. Amazing. No, thank you. Thank you so much for your answer. So let's go. I will close the chat here. I have open. So that now in tutorial 2, we'll be talking, our objective will be to define measures of central tendency. So we have the data all around what is a little bit, what is in the center, mean, which is also average, median, or mode. These are the 3 we use. And also variation and shape of ungrouped data. Calculate measures of central tendency and variation using the calculator. or Excel? My plan is to show you guys how to do a few things in Excel and use my experience today. You see, if I show you Excel, I think it's pretty clear how to do it in the calculator, because what I like about doing a Zoom session in Excel is that Excel will hold the values pretty well written. I think it works a little bit nicer than a calculator, but it's not too different. We're going to draw and interpret a box and whisker plot, or box plot if for short, and calculate a coefficient correlation using Excel and interpret the answer. Let me double check. We will see if we're doing it this tutorial, just to be sure, but let's go. We'll start. If you guys, you see the first question is some options here for true or false, and we will start with the first one. I prepared some polls. You guys can take a little bit of time. So suppose the distribution is symmetrical with mean mu, and then we have 4 things here. Let me launch the poll. Tutorial 2, question 1A. I will launch, and you guys will have the 4 items and a true or false. And feel free to participate. Yeah. So the first item is asking you the median must equal the mean, mu. Second item is the mode must equal the mean, mu. And third is the mode must equal the median. And the fourth, approximately 68% of the values must lie within 1 standard deviation of the mean. I can see we have already 8 answers. I'm happy to wait longer. 9. So let's try to think about. So if you guys want to open, feel like opening your mic or sending a chat, I can see a chat. Yes, it is. Is it plus or minus 1 SD? Exactly. So approximately 68% of the values must lie within 1 standard deviation. Oh, wait. Actually, no, must lie within 1 standard deviation. No, yes, of the mean. I'm sorry. Yes, 1 standard deviation of the mean. So you're looking at the mean. It will be 1 to the plus. I hope the video is not inverting, and 1 to the minus. So plus and minus. So yeah, the mean and 1 to the mean. You're right. Well, thank you for participating. That is amazing. We had 23 people sending their answers. We are 33 today. Guys, would you like 24 answers now? I think we still have a chance of having a few more. Maybe. 25. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Considering I am one of the people here, we're just missing 26. 6 people only. We're only missing 6 people to send us an answer. 27. Amazing. 10 more seconds, maybe. 27. Yes, that's it. We're missing 5 people to send, but that's all right. Thank you for participating. Let me share the results here, if you guys can see. Look at that. Quite shared results, and these are the answers. So suppose the distribution is symmetrical with mean mu. The median must equal the mean. It's true, right? So if it's symmetrical, both sides of the distribution are equal. I can see it was a very split decision here in our voting. The mode must equal mu. Mode is considerably different, right? It's something that the mode is the one that we have the most often. So it's not always related to the mean. It's not always really related to the center sometimes, what you might consider the center, like having smaller and bigger values. It's just the most frequent. It's a different way of looking at things. So the mode must equal the median, ends up being false too, right? Given the previous one we had. And here, approximately 60, I can see false, 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 and a lot of true for 4. Approximately 68% of the values must lie within one standard deviation of the mean. Tricky question. We can only say that if we know that the distribution is normal. If the distribution is not normal, then maybe not. Maybe it's not 68% will lie within one distribution, standard deviation of the mean. Or maybe if it's bimodal too, like therefore it's not normal. Bimodal is the one who does like 2 lumps, and maybe if these lumps are far away from each other, maybe the one standard deviation won't get the part that goes up and down. I hope you guys can see the video here. And yeah, that's it. Great job, guys. Thank you so much for participating in this one. We'll stop sharing this one. Any question? Chat. Let's go to the next one. An additional observation is added to the data set, and this observation is larger than all the previous observations. The new observation. So we added a new one. Let me launch the second one here. Launch. You guys can start voting. So we had our data, and then we added another one, which is larger than everything that we had before. So the new observation always causes the median to increase. Second, sometimes causes the median to increase. And third, always causes the mean to increase. So yeah, this is pretty quick. I don't need to leave you guys too long with this one. I had 11 answers up to now. So basically, we're adding a value that is bigger than everything we had before, and we are asking questions about the median and the mean. Once again, mean is equal average. We have 17 answers up to now. How about another 30 seconds? 18 answers, 19. So I'll read again. An additional observation is added to the data set, and this observation is larger than all the previous observations. The new observation always causes the median to increase, sometimes causes the median to increase, and always causes the mean to increase. Very good. We have 25 answers already. I think that's it. I will close the poll and share the results with you guys. Because I was a little bit more decisive this time. And look, you guys are doing great. Good job if you got it right. If you didn't, it's also a good job. Thank you for participating. Pretty nice. So, oops, okay. Did I show next one? No. Yes. So the first one, what's going on there? It depends on how many observations we have. Sometimes, for example, if the 2 observations in the middle are the same value, and we have, let's think, so it's the same, and we had an even number, so 4 or 6 or 8. Then we add another observation. First, our median was in the middle. Now it becomes one of them, but the middle of 2 equals numbers is the same number. So it's just moving here to here, and the median is the same. So sometimes it might not. That's why sometimes it causes the median to increase, but sometimes not. And in terms of the mean, then yes, then it will increase. because every time you add something that is greater than the mean goes a little bit higher, becomes higher. And if it's lower than the mean itself becomes a little bit lower, right? And that's it. Any question? Feel free to jump in or send on a chat. But good job, guys. Let's go. C. And there we go. I will already launch, so you have a little bit more time. It's just 2 questions. If the standard deviation is large, the data are less dispersed, and a data set with more than one mode is said to be bimodal. 2 quite short questions, just true or false. Let's see how you guys do. I had 3 answers up to now. 4. So first question, if the standard deviation is large, then the data is less dispersed. See, if you guys don't know what is dispersed by any chance, dispersed means to spread around. So if it's less dispersed, then it's less spread. It's more concentrated in one space. And a data set with more than one mode is said to be bimodal. Wow, 22 answers, excellent. 23, 20 more seconds, maybe. So sometimes I think you get the feeling about some questions that can be a little tricky. You are probably right on what you're thinking. There's a little bit of detail there to be aware of. This is a record. We have 28 answers. Is it the best we've done today? I think so. Anybody else? I will stop and share results. And we have a little bit more false for the first one. And we have a lot more true for the second one. Look. First one, false. If the standard deviation is large, the data is more dispersed, not less, more, right? If the standard deviation is 0, it means the data is altogether. So it doesn't vary. So the more you increase the standard deviation, the more your data will be spread. Second, the data set with more than one mode is said to be bimodal. It's said to be bimodal. You're right. If there are 2 modes, but sometimes there are 3, and I think it's trimodal, if I'm not mistaken, from the class. And maybe there will be names for other ones. Very rare. Like, it's quite a coincidence to have 2 same quantities of the high. Okay, the highest frequency of the observations. To have it the same for 2, it's already rare. To have the same for 3, it's quite a big coincidence. So you rarely see it. But yeah, this is a little bit tricky. It could be false if it's 3 modes. Well, thank you for participating. Great job. Let me stop sharing. Any question? See, okay, chat. Amazing. Let's go. Question 2. Each of 10 taste testers rated a new brand of barbecue sauce on a 10-point scale, where 1 was awful and 10 excellent. The 10 ratings are they gave you all the ratings. Then, which measure of central tendency we were talking about would be the most appropriate to use here, and why? I'm launching another poll. And let's think about what this question is talking about. We have taste testers, and they're rating between 1 and 10. and one means awful, 10 means excellent. And you start getting a little bit of a taste of what we're talking about. What does the half of it, so it's between 1 and 10, the middle of it would be like 5.5. I don't think it's an 10-point scale. I don't think it's an option, 5.5. But what would that mean? Does having one awful and one excellent, is it the same as having two neutral or mid-term? Answer, how do you feel about it? Or like, can I say that 1.8 and 1.10 both means it's the same as having two 9s in this case? We had 23 answers, 24. I will give you another 5 seconds, maybe 26. Very good, very good. Thank you. 7. Excellent. 27 answers. That's great. And poll. And in this type of question, I'll share results. As you can see, we had a lot of mean and average. Let's see. But this type of questions, we're talking about categorical data. And sometimes when it comes to categorical data, you can't just add things and divide. That's not how it works. Once again, categorical could be names or colors or I don't know, some other things that are text, not numbers. So although we have numbers for these ones, and they are ordinal, one is bigger than the other, we're not sure if an 8 and a 10, as I give as an example before, is the same as two 9s. So when it comes to this type of data, the median and the mode tend to be more used than the mean, because it's not quantities. We're not talking about quantities. We're talking quantities or numerical data. We're talking about categorical data. Tricky, a little bit tricky, but it's good. That's these questions are here exactly to force you guys to think about it, to get used to this type of things. Thank you so much for participating. I'll stop sharing the results. And this is excellent. Okay. Any question to here? The rest of the tutorial we will dedicate to 2 relatively long exercises. So any question with this more theory based after here? Seems like you guys are all good. Do you guys find like maybe thumbs up, or is there a thumbs down or anything? Do you guys enjoy the poll, or do you prefer doing it anywhere else, another way? Look, I won't be offended if you send like a red thing or whatever is there. That's all good. I think nice. It's good to have the feedback. I think it's nice to see people, and sometimes for example, this last one, as you can see, more people got it wrong than well, maybe it was a little bit spread. I think other people will not feel too bad, because this was a trick question. Like, it guides you towards the error. So congratulations for the people who did it wrong, but like, don't worry if you didn't. Amazing. Good to have the feedback. At least I didn't get anything negative, or maybe I didn't see it, or maybe someone is not brave enough to say. Feel free. We're very happy to get feedback, and it helps us to try to improve a little bit how we do the tutorials, right? Amazing. Thanks, guys. So let's go to a longer question. Question 3. The following are 14 responses to a graduate survey on salaries offered to Bachelor of Business graduates and thousands of dollars. I know a lot of people during now summer are doing this course, a lot of the students during this course are doing either commerce or business management. So it's pretty interesting. I think these numbers are quite a few years old. You might be relieved that salaries have increased since then. But let's go. We will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 questions to work on. And we will start with the first one. Calculate the 5-number summary and draw a box plot by hand. How would you describe the shape? Let's see. Amazing. Harry already sending his numbers. I want to take the chance to show you. I don't know if other people will show. I think it would be nice to have it on video if you guys want to do later. Let's try to do it on Excel. I don't know if you guys have ever done it before. Can you see my Excel? Thumbs up. Amazing. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. Fantastic. How would I do that? Look, I'll show you a few things I've learned with time. For example, Cole or Dominic, we have for this course the doc file, right? And you see that the data is all spread. Look what I'm going to do. We can select the data. We can copy the data. You see the button here. If you guys have Word in Excel, copy and come to Excel. Initially, it will look weird. So I'll paste. You can click paste. And then you say, oh, but that's not what I want. So let's go. I want to transform this. If I click data, I'm still selecting the two, I didn't change anything. If I clicked somewhere else, you'll see that all this data are in these 2 cells because there were 2 lines, right? I'll select both of them. And now we're going to click on text to columns. And then I know, can you see my data over there? This is delimited. And it's delimited. Sometimes it starts with a tab. What we want is to say, oh, it's what we have in between the data, it's a space. So when I click, look how cool it is. They're all showing together. You can click from here, finish. And now I have the data, 1 in each cell. Now to put all of them together, I will just select this one. Let's go back here. Let's cut. Now I'll paste it. Now we have a whole line, right? I will call this line earnings. But I don't want to work with it this way. I want to have it on a vertical. So to do it in a vertical, once again, oh no, we don't even need to. Oh, sorry. Back in here, I will copy this data. Look what I'm going to do. We call it transpose. Look at this button, transpose. It will be, you see that there is I can do it, the little arrows, kind of like this. And when I click, now we have the data like this. Okay. One thing that I think Cole showed in the videos is you can use descriptive data to get some information about this order here. To draw the box plot, I will show you another way too, but descriptive statistics, you will look in data and check if you have this little guy in here. Where is it? I've just done it before. Let me move this. Okay. Can you see the data analysis here? This is what we're going to use. If you don't see these on your Excel, I will show now in this video how to install it. So you're going to click File. You're going to go to Options. Inside of Options, you're going to see Add-ins. And look at this, Analysis Toolpack. If you don't have it installed, you will see this line here will be empty, or there will be other things, and the analysis toolpack will be down here. You're going to click Go. Then you're going to click Analysis Toolpack and press OK. As soon as you do that, this little button will appear. So let's go. Now, I want to click on Analysis Toolpack. we're going to do descriptive statistics. Click OK. And let's go. Well, how do we fill these things? First, we want to select the data. I had the correct value already, but if it's empty for you, you can click here and select the data, or you can also click there, select the data, and then you click here again. Okay. Group by columns. Output range. Where do I want this data, the descriptive statistics, to be printed? I will click here. If it was empty, you would just click another cell. I'll click very close. And you can choose a few things to show there. But summary statistics, it's enough for us at the moment. And then we will have that. Look how cool. Here you have the mean, the standard error, the median, the mode, and a few things: standard deviation, sample variance, kurtosis, skewness, a few other things, count, 14 data, and sum. This is one thing to get the descriptive statistics. Another thing that is super interesting, we want to do a box plot, right? So let's go back to our question. Whoop, so many things open. Calculate the 5-number summary and draw a box plot by hand. We had Harry already shared some numbers. And how does it work, this 5-number summary? I think we're looking at the minimum, at the maximum. So let's put a few things together. Minimum, the median, the max. And this is, I'll call it Q1. It's kind of the first, and Q3 quartile. The median can also be considered the Q2. Some for the quartiles, right? Okay. So, well, you can look at this data. Look, another thing you can do. Select it all. Data. Where is the sort? Look at that. Sort. And you can do sort smallest to largest. Or you can click right button, sort smallest to largest. I'll click. And look at that. Minimum 18, maximum. So I'll copy and paste. Copy and paste. Now I'll need your help. Which one is the median? I know that I think we have an answer already in the chat, but anyway, someone want to jump in and tell us how to get the median?
Using the number of values you have, you can find the position of the median by doing n+1 divided by 2.
Perfect. Amazing, Harry. Yeah. So using the number, the count. So we have 14. It's also showing here. But if you could select all of them, there would be a count here in the down in the screen. 14. The rule that Harry is using is n+1, and all of this divided by 2. Right? And our n is 14. So 14 plus 1 divided by 2. This is equals to 15 divided by 2, which is 7.5. So we found 7.5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What happens from here? How do we find the median? Now that we know that we're looking for the this is a position, right? Would someone like to jump in and explain how to get to the median?
Yeah, so would you add the 7th and the 8th position, the values that they are, divide them by 2?
Amazing, exactly. Yeah, good job, Noah and Val. Basically, you're adding both and divided by 2. It's really nice to do in Excel because you'll see the value there. Also, with descriptive statistics, you have the median in here, right? So, okay, let me copy and paste. How does it work for these two guys now? Anybody would like to try have a go on how to calculate it?
You'd have to take the median of the lower half and upper half. So the median between 18 and 29.7 and the median between 30.2 and 38.6.
Excellent, amazing. So now this is already in order. Let's take the first half. I will paint them. I'll give them a little bit of a color because I'm from Brazil. I'll give it. It also resonates with Australian sports colors too. I'll use a yellow and green, purple and how do you say? Okay, green and gold. Forgot. Okay, in Australia, but yeah, we have both of them. 7, and when we're looking, it's already in order and it's an odd number, so we know that the median is bang on in the center. So it's this guy, as Harry has already. I can paste it there. And who is in the middle here? This guy. So there we go. These are numbers for us to draw a box plot. I'll show you one more thing on Excel. It is possible to ask Excel to draw it for you. The tutorial is asking to draw by hand, so it's good to get used to it. The thing that I found annoying is actually that it draws on a vertical, which is so odd. But you can do insert, then you can click in recommended charts. I'll go to all charts, then I go box whisker. And look, it does it for you, but it's vertical. I was looking for, usually you can click switch row and column and it kind of goes sideways, but it didn't work. Anyways, this is what we will try to draw. Hey, let me move somewhere else. Now, remote control, sharing. Let me see. I'll stop this share to start a new one. We're going to a whiteboard and we're all going to draw it together. I will start drawing the format. Let's see what can I do. How is a box plot? It is a little bit like this. And I would like you guys to add the values. This will be the center. I'm not really measuring here, going precise. Maybe I should, it will get a better visual. But for now, I would like you guys, I need 5 values. Would you mind, can you click, I don't know if you need to click annotate or something to draw in our whiteboard. This is I'll write down box plot. I would like the 5 values that we calculated in here. I would like you guys to position them. Box. Oops, I'll just leave it like that. Okay. It's amazing. Yes, good job, Harry. Anybody else also want to interact and add the number there? Look, cool. Very good. So these are the minimum and maximum values, right? What are our first quartile, median, third quartile? Excellent, guys. Great job. Just one more. Amazing. Thank you. So this is what we would draw by hand. It is nice to have in proportion, and I will show you how it ends. Great job. I will close this one if you don't mind. Let's share screen again. And if you draw by hand and using the correct proportions, this is what you get. I didn't discuss the last one. Sorry for that. So you will notice that it's much longer to the left here, right? This left whisker. So we describe it as left skewed. So this is much shorter. So when you look at the data, it's more spread to the left, or what? Sorry, thinking the camera to the left here, which I mean the lower values are more spread and the higher levels are more concentrated. Try to think where you see this. Don't have a better. My best example is the opposite. It would be right skewed if it was salaries. So you would see there are just a few people earning a lot and some people just earn too much. So you see the skewness going all the way there. While when it comes to earning just the normal, what we consider normal amounts, minimum salary and a little bit more than that, it's more concentrated. Well, that's it for this one. Next question. Calculate the overall average in dollars. I think. Can I go back to our Excel? I think the value is there already, isn't it? I know that Harry has already posted the value. Oh, nice. Thank you. Exactly. And very good job there, Harry. Look, the mean I calculated was 29.57142857. Look at the question. And this is very important for your CML to pay attention to the details. First, they're giving us the following are 14 responses to a graduate survey on salaries offered to Bachelor of Business graduates in thousands of dollars. And the question is asking average salary in dollars. So these values are actually thousands. It's important to pay attention. If it's asking in dollars, transform it back to dollars instead of thousands. So that's what you get. Perfect answer. To be like tiny detail, this is your official answer, but the precise value is actually not what I wanted to show. Precise value would be 0.3 with a rounding here. Just do it like this. But I don't know. I think it's good enough to have the other one. And the next question is what I just started discussing. Doesn't matter here whether you are using units in thousands or just dollars. Thousands of dollars or just dollars. And the official answer is this one. It doesn't matter when you're calculating your box plot, no matter the units you're using, as long as everything is measured the same way. You don't need to convert to find what is bigger than the other one. But it's something to pay attention on your quiz questions, because there might be some tricky questions that they will give you the data in one unit of measure and ask your answer in another one. I'll give a random example. I hope it's not in there, but like they might give you data in Celsius and ask you answer in Fahrenheit. It's like, oh, not cool, converting it. But you might have done it in high school, I think. I don't know. But yeah, important as to pay as people working with data, important to pay attention to those details. Let's see what's the next question. Also, feel free to jump in, ask questions either on chat. I have the chat open here, or open your mic. Let's see what else it's asking. Calculate the length of the whiskers and discuss. I will start. As we have a lot of international students, do you know what are whiskers? And if I go back here, if you look at the box plot, you have a little bit of an advice of what are whiskers. I think it's a cool thing to know. Don't want it to be like just a weird word. In case you don't know, I don't want it to be a weird word in your mind. with, is it like that or CK? Yes. These are whiskers. How cool is that? So if you're looking at a box plot, you know this might be like the whiskers of the cat. This try to picture a nose somewhere and a mouth. I don't know if it helps, but this is why we call it whiskers. I hope this is new for someone. Like, hope like if everybody knew, I'm sorry, just spend your time. But well, calculate the length of the whiskers. Here we are again. So the length would be this distance and this distance. And how can I calculate that? So lower whisker, or we could call it left whisker. Better left, which takes care of the lower values, right? It would be equals to this distance. So let's get the biggest number and subtract the smallest one. Which one is this one? It's the first quartile. And then we subtract this guy. There we go. As Harry said in his answer, 7.3. And then write this guy equals these distance. So I'll get the highest value, the max, and subtract the third quartile. This minus this. Oops. Enter 2.6. And these are the size of the whiskers. I think as I'm showing you on Excel how to do it, but I think it's pretty simple if you wanted to convert it to a calculator. It's not too complicated, right? Left whisker, right whisker. Well, no. Right here. And let's discuss. Look at that. First quartile minus minimum gives us the left whisker. Maximum value minus third quartile gives us the right whisker. The right whisker is much shorter, so the distribution is left skewed, as we talked before in with the thing. Any question here for this one? I think we are starting to dive into some details that nobody has used before in their lives. Or maybe just seen it before. Let me check the chats. I think we're good. We're good for now. Nice. All right. More. Let's see what's next. I think it's the last one. What is the absolute value of the difference between the median and mean of the sample? Just to check. Do you remember what is an absolute value? Just in case you haven't seen it before, it's when we put this little 2 bars here in between a value. So it's like the absolute value of minus 12 is equals to 12. Look at Google doing it for me. So this is because, therefore, the absolute value of minus 12 is 12. It was pretty nice. It might be helpful sometime for you guys too. So absolute value of the difference between median and mean. Let's go then. We have the mean and we have the median. So I'll do absolute value. Oh, this is the name I will call, or I could put diff, and then equals. In Excel, I can use a function ABS for, look, returns the absolute value of a number without its sign. And then inside of the bracket, I'll put mean minus median. close the bracket, enter. We have this broken value. We can shorten it to 0.38. And that is the answer. Mean minus median. This would get a negative number. If you change the order, it would be positive, but the absolute value doesn't matter. It will always be the positive value. As you can see, 0.38. Questions? And how was it? Is it fun to draw a box plot? I think it's pretty cool. And any question? We'll have a look at chat. Let's see. Nothing here, not showing anything for me. Look, sometimes you might not have seen, but you see some things like use of, let me close, I think I have so many windows here. Let me make things smaller a little bit. Use of box plot. Let's go to images. Look at those things there. I've done some analysis in further statistics that we use a little bit of it. It's pretty nice, pretty good. It gives you like quick image for you to have an idea about what type of data you're dealing with. Okay. Enough of this one, no questions. We're moving to the next one. The next one is, I would say, slightly more challenging question, but very interesting because you can use it. You have to adjust a few things to calculate your own grade, which will be, oh, sorry, not A, it would be B, it would be the grade part, sorry for that. Let's start with A, which is, so putting some weight to our observations. And I will start, oh, let's go. Nice. Good job, Harry. Let's start there. How would we do it in Excel? Question A. So let's read it, right? So currently your inventory consists of 20 bottles of discounted wine that you're willing to sell at cost. So sell at cost is a little bit like, oh, I have an inventory. I want to sell for the same price I paid. And then they're saying, you purchased 6 bottles for $12 a bottle, 8 bottles for $14 a bottle, and 6 bottles for $6 a bottle. If a single selling price, the weighted average price, is to be set for all 20 bottles, that price per bottle should be set in order to recover. What price per bottle should be set in order to recover all of your costs? So let's go. What do we have in our inventory? We have quantity. I'll do a little bit of Alt tab here. So first, we have 6 bottles that cost me $12 each. 6. That costed me $12. Then I have 8 bottles that cost me $14. And then I have 6 that cost $6, right? How many bottles do I have? Excel is a very good friend of yours. Just selecting, it will sum 20, but we also had it in text that it is 20. One thing you can do, look at that. There is an auto sum button. If you haven't used it yet, it automatically selects all the values upwards and enter 20 bottles. Nice. The price is the price per bottle. Let me per bottle. Let me be more specific. So we're not adding the prices. This is what we're using a little bit as a weighted average. We have $12 a bottle, and the weight is like 6 out of our 20 bottles. For the 14th, we have 8 out of our 20 bottles. And that's a little bit how it works. If I would calculate the total, it would be this times this. I have $72 of $12 bottles, but plus 112 from $14. And the same here. I'm just copying and paste. It automatically swaps this first data using this two. It swaps to the next two and the next two. It's just one times the order. This would be the total stock I have. Oh, I can do equals to sum. This is another way of summing. Select the data, 220. And you could calculate the average per bottle just by dividing your total inventory by the amount of bottles. Equals this guy divided by this guy, $11. But you might want to use our weighted averages and see how much each bottle is contributed to the final price. This is another way of doing it. You can get equals this, I was going to say, this amount, this $12. This won't be total. This will be, wait. This $12 times 6, but divided by 20. As the 20 is always the same, I'll press F4. These little guys here, these dollar signs, they will hold the 20 in the same place because I will be moving it down for price per bottle and quantity, but holding the other one there. So look how interesting. This divided by this times this gives me 360. Look what's going to happen to the next one. I'm just clicking and scroll and pushing it down like another cell, 560. So this is the contribution to the average price from this 8 $14 bottles. And I'll do this here, another 180. And if we add, look what we get, $11, which means the 8 bottles that cost me $14 are giving a bigger contribution to the price. This dollars, the 6 that costs 12, quite a contribution, and the 6 that costs 6, not so much. But adding them all together, it's 11. Just another way of doing it. I wanted to show you guys how to do it in Excel. But that's great. Basically what Harry posted on chat in the chat is, I think, similar to what I've done using the total here, dividing this by this. But this is a slightly different way. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. I don't think it's too difficult to do. It's a small amount of things you would be able to do by hand, but I think it's nice to know also how to do it in Excel. Spoiler alert, when you leave uni, when I left, I did computer science first. When I left, the thing that they gave me was like, here's Excel. You're doing most of your job in Excel. So you use a lot. So it's good to have to try to develop a little bit of the skills during uni, because it will be very handy in the future. Any question before we go to the next one? Next, part B is a little bit more challenging, and we'll take the rest of our time. Opening here. Okay. Doesn't seem to have any question at the moment. All right, so there we go. I put a little bit of a print. I was missing, I didn't do this next part for the print. So a little bonus for you guys. 11 per bottle. And now calculating grades. If you guys haven't done it before, depending, it can be a little bit challenging. There are some websites that help you calculate your grades, and you add the percentages, the weight of each of your assignments. But we're doing it by hand now. And we're using, this is not the current, important to remember, this is not the current way of calculating grades. The weights are different. A lot of things are different here. But we're using the way that we were calculating some time ago. Then you can adjust to do yours, right? I want to use Excel to do that. So let's jump. No, that's not what I want. Okay, quick. Yes, sorry. it's much more important, the process, than the values in the end. I copied the data there before, just to save a little bit of time. But look at that. So this person, this student, a student's best attempt for each of his 6 CML quizzes at the end of the semester in ECON1310 were 14 out of 24. So basically this would be the total. This would be the grade for CMLs 1 to 6. 14 out of 24, 21 out of 27, 22 out of 30, 14 out of 26, 11 out of 26, and 17 out of 30. Out of 30. So their mid-semester exam mark was 34 out of 50. Have a look at my Excel, mid-sem, 34 out of 50. The best 5 out of 6 CMLs quizzes contribute 20% to the end of the semester grade. So all these guys together will take the smallest value, and it will contribute 20% to our end. Now, even zoom a little bit more, to our final grade. The mid-sem is 25%. What is this? Let me take this out. And the final would be the remaining 55%, right? So final exam 55. By referring to ECON1310 course profile, what minimum percentage mark would be required on a final exam for the student to receive a grade of 4 and a grade of 5? Can I quickly ask you guys to put on a chat how many points or percentage you need for a grade of 4, and what is the minimum for a grade of 5? A lot of you, I would expect, to already have it by heart. Amazing, good job. Exactly 50%. And ooh, nice, very good, very good. You guys know what we're talking about. So yes, for a grade of 4, we need 50%. For a grade of 5, 65%. Grade of 6, 75. Grade of 7, 85%. And that's the maximum grade that we have on GPAs. What functional formulas in Excel we need to learn for sure? Alex, interesting question. It depends on how much Excel you want to use for this course. When I did it 1 year ago, I was relatively comfortable on how to use it. I would try to where to learn. I'll try to be using Alex throughout our tutorials. So if you want to replicate what I'm doing, feel free to do so and follow the
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
No worries, my pleasure. I'll try. You see, I know that the time we have in the tutorials it's not enough to have everybody opening their own Excel and swapping the videos. But if you want to replicate at home, and then you can pause and you can see what I wrote in the formula.
Yeah, because I know from speaking to my other tutor that if I'm going to major in finance, I need to know how to use this all really properly.
Yeah.
And it's it's that function, the FX button, and all of the finance formulas, they're all automatically in this in Excel.
Yeah, exactly.
Like standard deviation formula, the variance formula. So
Yep.
it's really important to just get my head around all of this.
Absolutely.
So, is there a website other than just YouTube? Is there somewhere I can go where I can or should I be just trying to do a consultation with you?
It could be a consultation too. I'm happy to help during the consultation.
Okay.
But yeah, I can see, yeah, LinkedIn must be, there are some few courses. I would say that for ECON1310, we have,
This is basic.
yeah, it's quite basic. Like, you're definitely not using the difficult financial ones, but it's a lot of things will be like adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing, and I'll try to do it more than using the functions. Yeah.
All right, thanks.
No worries. So let's go. First, you will see that the weight of each of the CMLs, it's a little bit different. The amount of questions, sorry, the weight is the same. But to see how well they did in each of the CMLs, I'm going to divide equals this number divided by this. Look what we get. In my case, it's already on percentage. You could have clicked this if you get just a number like this, you can click percentage, and you can also do like this to look a little bit more. Well, now we know that CML5 is the worst. So let's calculate the average. Oh, look at what I'm going to do. Average. I'll open and I'll select all the 5 I want, but the smallest one. So just 5 of them, enter, and we get 63.991%. And remember how we did the previous question? I multiplied how much we get by the weight to know how much we already have, how many points we already have. So this times this is the CMLs out of 100%.
Are you pressing shift when you did that?
I don't think so.
You just press the
equals
60. Yeah. Okay.
this times this.
All right. Sweet. Thanks.
First, no worries. When I select all of them, I hold Control, but you can just do it one by one. No worries. Works the same. Yeah. So out of the 20% that the CMLs count for, this student scored already 12.8 or like 12.7983. How much did the midsem contribute to his grade? Same thing. You can copy and paste. Wait, just paste. Yes. He got 68%, basically this times 2, right? 68%. And when I multiply, I could equals this times this. He got another 17% from the midsem. Nice. And so in total, this guy plus this guy is what he got. 29.7983%. Now, the final, if he scores everything, he can get 55%, but we want to know how much they need in the final. So, how much they need for a grade of 4? 50%. And they already have 29%. So how much is missing? Let's go. Equals 50% is what I need, minus 29.74%. So I would prefer to not have such a long number. That's huge. So we still need 20%. But how much can I score maximum? 55%. So I will do the following. How to get 20% out of 55%? I will divide 20 by 55, enter. So
I got a question for you.
Yeah, sure.
What happens if the exam is 100 marks?
Oh, so it would be something like that.
How many marks do you need in the exam to pass?
I can calculate that too. So you said you would like an example which has 100 marks, right?
Yeah, well, the exam's worth 55%, right? We know we need 20%, but the exam is got 100 marks in it, for example. It could have 50 or 80, whatever. Let's just say 100, right?
Exactly.
We could just say 55 marks, and then we know we need 20 marks out of 55, but
Perfect.
it's too easy.
Exactly.
We just say 100 marks. How many do we need?
Yeah, so we need to get 20 out of 55. So 20 divided by 55 is 36.73%. So I ask you, Alex, if we had 100 questions, how many do you need to get right out of the 100?
Well, yeah, there's 100 marks.
Yeah.
And I need 36% of that. I need, 37 marks.
Amazing. Exactly. Good job. That's exactly what you need. And if by any chance, if it was let's pretend a very difficult number, 7, 8, 9 marks. It was a crazy exam. And if we multiply this guy times that guy, we would need more than 289. And if it was just 10, basically 3.67. And that's how it works. What do you guys think? 200 marks, 73 questions, 73 you need. Any question? I know this is not the easiest question we're going to do in the tutorial. So I'm happy to explain a little bit more of it. If you guys have questions, do you think it was possible to follow?
Francisco, I did this calculation in my last exam.
I know, right? No, I do too. I have an Excel.
Because I was struggling to pass. I didn't know how many marks I need. And then the exam has 4 different questions and they're not equally marked. And how many minutes am I going to spend on this question and that question? I only got an hour and a half and blah, 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 blah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, good job. You know what? Like, you knew what you needed for that question. A lot of students go to their exam without knowing. So good on you for
and just passed.
That's good. No, congratulations. Man. So, all right. If we don't have any question on this one, I will move to the next one and final question. It's open for us if, like, by any chance we didn't have time to do so, we could have not do the last one, but I think we have some minutes and I'll go for it. How does that sound? Good. Let's go. So did we get it right? Actually, I forgot. I didn't check. I hope we did it with. Sorry. I forgot the grade of 5. So what did we do here? How much we needed? Grade of 5, same stuff. We need 65%. I'll subtract what I already have, right? This is much harder, as you can see. We need to get 35 out of this 55%, which means, this guy divided by that guy means you need to do pretty well in that exam. 64%, almost 2/3 of it. If I'm leaving too many decimals, if it's getting harder to picture the number, I'll lower it to 2. Sometimes on the CMLs, they will ask you like more broken like numbers, like with more decimals. Yeah, pay attention to how many decimals and what unit they're using. And that's it. Let's go to the next one then. 36.73 and 64. I think they're using more decimals. Let me just put a little bit more. 36.73 and 64. I will go back. We already know the answer for the next one, but I think the important thing is the process, right? Part 2. If the same student had not attempted quiz 3 at all, so they missed the quiz, and you guys don't want to miss the quiz. We have quiz 1 now. There will be a second attempt. Make sure you don't miss it. And so received a score of 0 instead of 22 out of 30. While the scores for the other 5 quizzes remain the same. What minimum percentage mark would be required on the final exam for the student to receive a grade of 4 and a grade of 5? What if I change this same Excel? I prepared a second one. I won't change the same. I will do the other one so you guys can see a little bit more how I did. So look, it's the same thing. Let me do the same zoom so you can see the difference. It's changing here. This guy became 0. Now it's 0. So now our average, remember I did first the total. Let's do the same thing here to see how much I got for each of them. And we have 0%. So this is the one we eliminating. Let's get the average of 1, 2. Now, Alex and the other ones, to select more than one, I'm holding Control in a PC. Maybe it will be different on a Mac, but yeah, that's how they added all of them like that. Close the bracket, enter.
Okay.
This is the average. Let me try to select. I think it will be different because for this average down here, they're counting the 0 and we don't want it. One thing that you could have done is the following: delete the line. It's not really good, but yeah, you can do that. And then the average they will calculate, it will be exactly the same, 57.79, 57.79, if you're looking at it this way. Okay, so we got 57 in our CMLs. It counts for 20% of our marks. Let's multiply both of them. We got 11%, a little bit worse than the previous one. Same marks for the mid-sem. I will just copy and paste. 68%. This same guy, no, this won't work. Multiply this by this. How much do we have? One plus the other. 28% now. So same technique. Let's see, we already have 28. So this guy minus 28 means for a grade of 4, I need another 21%. And for a grade of grade of 5, I need, oops, equals this minus this guy. I need another 36% out of the 55% that I have. So we will have this divided by this, and this guy divided by this. So if this student is in this situation, yeah, they have 28.55% of the grade going to a 55% with final exam. They will need almost 40% just to pass, which it's less than 50, which is good. It's already a good position to be. I would say could be worse, but to get a 5, it's a 66%, so 2/3. And I guess that's the values we had. 38.99, 66.26, 66.26. Yes. 38.99, 66.26. Nice. Nice. Any question? This was the last question for our tutorial. Pay attention that there are some additional practice questions. There will be an Excel file for you to play by yourself. And a few things if you want to practice extra. You will get the solutions. It will be made available. So I strongly recommend, and it's never too much to know how to work with data. Do you guys want to ask anything? Let me see. So just to conclude this one, and also for the people watching it later. So today we were talking, we actually didn't talk, although it was one of the objectives here, maybe it's not updated. We're not talking about correlation, but we used Excel to interpret our answers. We draw a box and whisker plot. We learn what is a box, but also what is a whisker. And we calculate measures of central tendency, but also variation using Excel. And yeah, we talked about what it means in the shape for ungrouped data. At the moment, I will stop recording. Just 1 second.